Here we are again. I'm Jeff Schwartz, and this is our August 2024 shop update video. Let's go out in the shop and see what we got going on this month. As you can see, the 64 Jag is getting closer to the finish line. We've got a few little wiring tidbits to do on the dash. It runs, and the next stop is the upholstery shop to have the rest of the interior completed. This 54 Studebaker wide body is also getting closer to the finish line. We've got a couple more wiring things to finish up on it, and we got to diagnose a problem with the GM wiring harness ECU setup. So should be running down the road on a test drive real soon, and then off to the interior shop to get the interior finalized. There's still a little bit more wiring and final assembly to do on this 66 Nova as well, and it is running as well. And as you can see, this 66 Chevelle that we showed you last month is well underway in the final assembly process now, and we hope to see it running down the road in the near future. We have completed the 3D scanning on this 65 Barracuda, and we confirmed that it's the same as our other A-body chassis with a slight adjustment to wheelbase. So this chassis will be in production real soon. Yes, this Hellcat Monte Carlo is now completed. And if you want more details about this build, you can read about it on motortrend.com or hotrod.com. If you want to try Google searching Hellcat Monte Carlo, I'm sure it's going to come up. Anyway, can't wait to see this one out of here and in the customer's hands. As you can see, the chassis for this 59 Ford F100 pickup is all done and powder coated, and this body had been blasted, and we found a lot of surprises with rust and so forth. So we began some of those repairs on it, and we were able to find some reproduction pieces for the sheet metal repair. Well, as you can see, we've got quarter panels on this 69 Roadrunner. They are not all the way fitted to the car yet. This is just kind of the mock-up phase where we're trying to get them lined up and correctly fitted, and then we'll start spot welding them on there. As you can see, we are not doing this on the lift. It's supported underneath on the frame rail. So important when you're trying to do sheet metal work and cutting things apart so things don't move around on you. Anyway, hope to see all this sheet metal work wrapped up next month. And this first-gen Camaro continues to move forward. We've finished the exhaust system a few weeks ago, and now we're working on mocking up all the front end, lining up door gaps, and then figuring out where to mount everything in the engine bay, like cold air intake tube and you know, various components that weren't in the original car that are utilized in a Restomod car. So still in the build process on this, and then we'll keep rolling. This is Monza number 2. Last month we were about to start fabricating the headers and connect them to the side pipes. We now have one header almost done, and the other one, all the tubes have been tacked together. So we should see the side pipes and the headers completed in the next video, and hopefully this will be running down the road very soon as well. This is Monza number 1. We had previously fitted a front bumper, fiberglass front bumper from Unlimited Products, and the owner didn't really care for the look of that. So he asked us to fit this bumper, which is from VFN. Unfortunately, VFN doesn't sell just the bumper, they sell the whole front end. So we had to cut this off a fiberglass front end and then fit it to the car. So that's been done now. This front end does look a lot better. It's more sloped here, doesn't have a blunt edge to it. However, we do have to still do some fabricating on here to get the headlights fitted and to have enough airflow to the radiator. So it's on here, and now we gotta move forward with the other mods needed to make it work properly. We've also finished modifying the floor and mounted the power seat bases that the owner had decided he wanted to add to this. So that's all been done, and we're still waiting for the engine to come back. As you can see, we have a 350 small block mocked up in this 55 Chevy. The next step is to do headers and exhaust system. We've also connected the steering to the steering rack, and the headers will need to be fabricated to clear all of that stuff. However, we were informed recently that this is getting a tall deck, spread pan rail, non-OEM small block, and then aftermarket heads with different port locations. So we really can't do anything until we have the actual components. So we're hoping to get the components soon, and we can mock it up with the actual heads and block and oil pan that'll be going in here, and then fabricate exhaust and the headers and the exhaust system. So that's the next step. So we're waiting for components to get here, and then we can keep rolling on this one. What you see here is a Superlite Coupe. These are manufactured by Race Car Replicas in Michigan. They have a full aluminum chassis, CNC machined uprights and control arms, upper and lower control arms. It's a really nice, what do I want to call it? A self-assembly supercar. And a lot of technology in here. They're based, or not really based, but they're configured to accept like LS and LT engines. That was the original design. So what I've got here is just a 5.3 that we're kind of mocking things up. So if you would mind commenting in the comments, should we do a twin turbo setup on this thing with something like 1400 horsepower, 1200 at the wheel, or should we do something really manageable and on the racetracks, like a very manageable track weapon with, say, around 700 to 800 horsepower, LS7 high compression type deal. So comment in the comments and let us know what you think. Should we go hypercar, twin turbo, crazy horsepower? This should weigh 2,200 pounds roughly, so it should be quite a weapon in either configuration. Let us know in the comments what you think. This is a 68 Firebird project, and this is getting a full all-wheel drive Tesla powertrain. So we have 3D scanned all the Tesla powertrain items, and we will be building a custom chassis for this to accept that Tesla powertrain. We're going to try to use as many suspension components as possible. However, I'm not real hopeful on that because the height of everything may not fit underneath the hood line of this car. But we'll see where we come on that. I've got two great engineers that are going to be working on this, and we'll see how this one progresses. This is our 1979 Corvette shop car. We showed you a number of videos on this, and this is the one where the mice got in the frame and rotted out both sides of the frame. It was a 53,000 mile original in pretty decent shape otherwise. As you can see, we stuffed a Hellcat engine in here, and yes, that is the power plant we're going to be using. We've eliminated a lot of the headlight mechanism up front. I've been fabricating some brackets to mount the headlight covers. We've got a single headlight that's going to be on either side of the grille opening where the factory turn signals were. It's a small rectangular headlights on either side with a built-in turn signal, so that should suffice there. We won't be doing a lot of night driving with it anyway. So we've taken a bunch of weight off the front end, which should compensate for the extra heavy lump that we have here. This should make about 900 horsepower in the configuration that we will have in here. We will have a T56 Magnum transmission from Silver Sport in here. It'll be riding on RideTech triple adjustable shocks. We already have the bare brakes for it, and we will be running a Holley engine management system with the Holley dash on this one. So it should be a real fun project. I can't wait to drive this thing. Should be a real monster with a relatively lightweight car. We're guessing this will probably be about 3,200 pounds, maybe a hair less, and should be pretty exciting. As you can see, this is one of our new C3 Corvette chassis being assembled, and We have a billet aluminum upright here that attaches a standard General Motors modular wheel bearing to it. This is a dual A-arm setup, and then we have our spline sway bar that'll be going through this tube right here. When Corvette went to double A-arm rear suspension with the C5, there was a lot of wheel hop problems with those cars for a number of reasons. The double A-arm is really the best setup for a handling situation, but it's not necessarily the best for straight line acceleration with a high horsepower car. So what we've done to make sure we don't have that problem is we've got spherical bearings at each of the mounting points to the chassis, which gives you zero flex and no wheel hop. And then we also made a very beefy, large diameter tubed A-arm with gussets in the middle to make it real strong and not have any flex no matter how much horsepower you put through this. So our half shafts are rated at 1500 plus horsepower, and we don't see any problem putting that type of horsepower level in this chassis. So we will be having photographs and everything of this chassis on our website real soon once we get this one assembled, and you can see all the details in its final form. That's all we have for this month. Stay tuned for next month. Please hit that subscribe button. I know a lot of people watch our videos. However, it would be great if we had more subscribers. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next month.